When you first look at NGSS, it can be a bit overwhelming, so hopefully this presentation eliminates some of those feelings. So as we look here, I went ahead and I pulled from second grade because that's what I teach, and our title up here at the top is Earth Systems, Processes that Shape the Earth. Now that's just our title, and underneath each title is a different set of performance expectations. So here in this top section is our performance expectations. So as you can see under this title, we have 4 different performance expectations. As we continue on, you will see that we have the foundation box and we have the connection box down here. As we come back up and look at these performance expectations, they're kind of an outline to what needs to be assessed under this specific title. It's important to know that the performance expectations aren't meant to all be taught in one class setting. It can be spread out over time. It's just showing you what needs to be assessed. They also provide boundaries in red, as you can see here in each of them, for what should and shouldn't be taught. As you move on to that foundation box, which was these 3 here in the center, it's made up of 3 parts or 3 dimensions. Your first one is practices. Your second is disciplinary core ideas, or DCI. And then your last one here is your cross-cutting concepts. Each performance expectation integrates at least one practice, DCI, and cross-cutting concept. For example, if you look up here to the expectation that I circled in green, the 2-ESS1-1, which is use information from several sources to provide evidence that Earth events can occur quickly or slowly, we look down here into these 3 dimensions and you can see that in each one, it's circled to show that this relates back up here to this performance expectation. So as we look a little bit closer at each of them, they all have a purpose. When it comes to practice, it's the types of activities that scientists and engineers would use to understand the world or to solve some type of problem. So in going back to that example of using information from several sources to provide evidence that Earth events can occur quickly or slowly, we look down here to where that code applied, and it says make observation from several sources to construct an evidence-based account for natural phenomena. So basically, you're allowing your students to kind of go in and observe how the Earth can change quickly or slowly. Maybe it's by videos, maybe it's by actually going out into your community and seeing that after a big rainstorm, it washed away the rocks or it's created a crater somewhere. Then you can go on to your disciplinary core ideas. They're important not just in science and engineering, but across other subjects and in a person's life. And then our cross-cutting concepts are those concepts that are used to deepen students' understandings of core ideas. So there's 7 concepts to kind of keep in mind, which are patterns, cause and effect, scale, proportion and quantity, systems and system models, energy and matter, structure and function, and stability and change. Now, all of those might not apply to everything, but some of those concepts will. So as you can see, as we went back and looked at that example one, the one that applied here was the stability and change, and things may change slowly or rapidly, which went back up here with our performance expectation. As we go back, or actually we'll stay here for a second, and we're going to look at both the connections to engineering, technology, and applications of science, and the connections to nature of science. You can identify by the code what performance expectation is associated with it. So as you see here, we have our code under both of these. And as you can see, that's not our code that matches the performance expectation that I use as an example. But this is where the writers of the standards thought that connections might fit naturally, is with those expectations. But teachers should always look for other opportunities that they could use within the other expectations that they're studying and going over. Oops, we'll get to that in a second. We'll go back here to one last thing where we look down here at our connection box. As we look at this connection box, it shows the connection right up here to other standards within the same grade level. Then as we move down, this shows the connection within standards and other levels. So as you can see, here's kinder, here's third, fourth, there's fifth. So the different levels. And then last but not least is the connection within the Common Core literacy and mathematics standards. So this is just being able to show you that, hey, I can connect this to several other things. I hope that this helped clarify. And last but not least, my references that I use throughout for this presentation. Thanks so much.